I'm pretty excited to do this one. Handle with Care by the traveling Wilburys, the super duper group, spearheaded, of course, by George Harrison. I was reading up on them. He gave them their name because when they'd make a mistake in the studio, they'd say, "We'll bury it in the mix." Funny. This is for Damien McAvoy in Ireland, supporter of the cause. Damien, thank you so much for the food, and I'm so glad you enjoy my videos. Super duper special shout out to F7Man7, who says, "Dude, you didn't win an Academy Award. Stop mentioning all the names before you start teaching. Thank you." Joke's on you. And also a shout out to Rick Horn, my good buddy in California, and we did this song together like a year and a half ago. Rick, this will be for you as well, because this will be just a little more correct. All right, here we go. The first place where you might go wrong is in the very intro. It has the obvious progression of D, C, B, G, right? And so you might think that they play a C chord for the second chord, but they don't. They play a D first, and then it's a D7 with a C in the bass. So C being the note that makes D7, D7 here on that B string, first fret, but instead of putting it in that octave, we're going to put it on the A string, third fret octave. So your pointer finger stays on G2, your ring finger stays on B3, and your middle finger grabs that low C note, and you have to G with a B in the bass. That's just this much out of G. You could, if you want, put your pinky finger on that high G note here. I don't like to do that. I like to save the whole genus for the big last G. Good thing there's no P chord. D, D7 with a C in the bass, G with a B in the bass, regular old G. And then you can do the walk. It's after you've played your G chord, it's open A, 2, 3. We know it's a D7 chord and not a C chord, other than the fact that there's a lovely video of the Wilburys playing the song, and they're clearly going like this, is the higher arpeggio guy in the intro, and that kind of goes like we're playing a D chord, but use your middle finger on G2 and your ring finger on B3, because we're going to switch that B3 to a B1 right away. Kind of, sort of. And then like open B and G. Land on that G open, and the walk in this octave is G2, open B, B1. So it kind of gets buried in the mix. Somebody must have made a mistake. It gets buried in the mix a little towards the end, but it is something along the lines of... For the verse, we do the intro twice. But the last time, you probably don't want to walk all the way up to C on your walk. Maybe just A, B, because we're sliding into the chord C. C, G, E minor, C, D, G. So whole verse. Take that back. They do the entire walk up to C before playing a C, so... It's just hard for me to coordinate. I don't know why. I would personally do the walking up into C fashion rather than play the C note twice, but you do it whichever way you want. But the second time the verse happens, rather than handle me with care, it's just handle me with care. C, D, which you see, makes it seem like it's going somewhere and something else is about to happen. The next part starts on a G chord, so it would be silly to resolve before starting another part on a G chord, so they lead into the G chord using the D chord via hanging on that C and that D longer the second time. So second time of the verse. to Roy Orbison's part. This is where things get exciting, and it is so Roy Orbison to use an augmented chord to get done something that you could get done another way, and the other way to get that thing done would be to play G, followed by B7, which has the requisite E flat note here on the first fret of the D string, which assists the melody. I'm so tired of. So that way, to get this done, which is not the way they get it done, is G, B7, C, D. But the B7 is replaced by a G augmented, which gets that same E flat note. Play your G like Tom Petty plays his G, fittingly, with your pinky finger on E3, middle finger on A2, and ring finger on the other E3, and then your pointer finger is free to get that D string first fret to get this progression done. G, G augmented, C, D. But that's not even how at least one of the Wilburys was playing it in that live video I mentioned. He was playing G, I'm talking about Beardy Glasses guy, by the way. He's playing F-shaped G. And then, this is a really cool way to play G augmented. Move your F shape up one fret and up one string towards the heavens. And the young person, the very young person in this video, even went so far as to play with a B in the bass. So that's crazy and really fun. That'd be starting on the E string, 7, 6, 5, 4, 4. Augmented means sharp fifth. D is the fifth of our G scale and G chord, so when we raise it one, it becomes a sharp fifth, or an augmented, but yeah, a bunch of different ways to play that. Or, and then he played C here, and D there in the video, but if I'm singing and playing by myself, I'm doing it down here. Oh, silly me. That part ends in a G chord, so won't you show me that you really care? Hang on your G. You can G7 it if you want for kicks there. I enjoy that kind of thing. But the reason I called that augmented chord so Roy Orbison a thing to do is because in Crying he uses D augmented for the part that goes, and I love you more than I do. I know, my Roy Orbison is so good. And I stop to say that I don't actually know the rest of the chorus of that song, but D augmented, really cool. 2, 3, 3, open. Everybody's got somebody to lean on. C, got somebody. G, back to C, and then we're going to D. There's some instruments taking care of the walk-up, which are the notes D, E, F sharp there on your D string. You could do that way if you like. I barred, then I'm going to switch to D with an F sharp in the bass, but not Better Man D with an F sharp in the bass. This one, 4, 2, 3. But you can get the same thing done by playing sus2 regular on a higher register, or just play D. That's it. But then we've landed on D, and we have to get back to a D, so they do the little fill back into the verse. So, everybody's that's it. Those are the pieces. Use your E minor pentatonic scale for your noodlings. This song, though it starts on a D, like Sweet Home Alabama, is actually in the key of G, which puts it in D mixolydian, but that just means you're using the D. The G scale starting on D, so bust that out at parties next time. But your E minor pentatonic is 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 15, 12, 15, or open 3, open 2, open 2, open 2, open 3, open 3. Or, of course, the other shapes of the pentatonic, if you know those. But we'll go over those another day, another time. Damien, thank you so much for the request and the food, and everybody else, I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for being here. See you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.